So today we're making the last of our terrine videos, and this one is a nut roast. And I've never made a nut roast before, so I thought but it sounded interesting. And it's a British recipe, so everything was given in grams and not ounces. So there was some interpretation that had to happen. But some of the main ingredients are this is one red onion and about 5 ounces of cremini mushrooms, sautéed in 3 tablespoons of butter until they're nice and soft. There's also 2 large parsnips that have been boiled in salted water and then mashed after they were soft. That's 2 large parsnips there. 2 tablespoons of sage, which we got from the garden. There is about, let's see, it is about 3.5 ounces of Stilton cheese. I guess you could substitute other cheese too, but I think Stilton probably works the best. Now I've got about a cup here of, or 3.5 ounces of what the recipe called for was brown bread crumbs. So I wasn't sure what that was. So I got a pumpernickel and bread and toasted it, cut it into cubes, toasted it, and ground it up in the food processor, and that's how I got brown bread crumbs. There's also about a cup of whole cranberries. And there are also 5 ounces of hazelnuts, which we toasted and Justin chopped. And then there's also 3.5 ounces of chestnuts, which you can buy already roasted and shelled, which is a nice convenience. There also, the recipe called for like a half teaspoon of mixed spice, and I didn't know what that was, so I made what's called 4-spice powder. It's a French ingredient, common French ingredient, and it's white pepper, cloves, ginger, and nutmeg, and 1 beaten egg. So now it's time to mix up all the ingredients, and I'm going to hand them to Justin, and he's going to stir them in. So first is the hazelnuts. We can add the chestnuts in there too at the same time. And then breadcrumbs. That's brown breadcrumbs. And looks like you're ready for the sage.
It smells really good already.
Yeah. And cranberries.
It's beautiful.
And now we'll add the Stilton cheese. You can, if you want to make this totally vegan, you can omit the cheese.
Okay.
And now let's add the parsnips. You may have to take that out with a spoon.
Scoop it out.
Those are the mashed parsnips. And that's the hard part there, getting that all mixed up. A half teaspoon, heaping half teaspoon of the mixed spice. I decided to go with the egg. I think this is maybe the hardest step of this terrine, and maybe of any terrine, is lining the mold. While I prep this pan, and it's just a basic, loaf pan. I've got the cabbage leaves that we blanched and refreshed in ice water over here drying. So first thing you want to do is oil the pan generously. And I'm using olive oil, but you could use whatever oil you prefer. We're also going to line it with a couple slings of aluminum foil, which I already cut. One to go in that direction, one to go in that direction. And then you also want to oil this. I usually start by lining the bottom first, pressing in a couple leaves, bottom of the pan, trying to get good coverage, like that. And then maybe get your largest leaves to go around the rest of it. It's good to leave some hanging over the sides because you'll want to fold this over. And if a rib gets in the way, just give it a break. Okay, Tarina's mold is lined with the cabbage leaves. Now Justin is going to fill it and pack it down as tightly as he can. Now you can bake this right away after you fill it. Bake it in a 375 degree oven for 45 minutes, and then you'll take the foil off. We'll cover this with foil after, and you take that off and let it brown for another 15. Or you can always make this the day before and then keep it in the refrigerator overnight and bake it the next day. Now you just fold over the leaves. Roasted your terrine in the oven for 45 minutes at 375. Remove the foil from the top and roast it another 15 minutes just to brown the top a bit. Unmold onto your platter and then let it sit for 15 minutes or so just to let it firm up. And I just want to bring in Kathy Kennedy from the Peconic Land Trust, our official taste tester and food stylist.
Thank you, Rick.
So let's try it. I think this would be a great first course for a holiday meal, or you could serve it as a vegan or vegetarian alternative. So let me know what you guys think.
It's really good.
Oh, wow.
I like the crunchiness of the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. And the cranberries are that nice, bright citrus flavor that
Yeah,
pops.
they add a nice contrast. It sort of tastes like stuffing. It really does.
Yeah.
So, stuffing wrapped in cabbage.
Another winner. Rick.
Otherwise
There you
known
go.
as a nut roast. Thank you for joining us. I hope you make the recipe and enjoy it as much as we do.